Right. This is, I've just seen a video. 9 times out of 10, if you see me doing these things, it's because somebody's posted a video and I think either I agree or I don't agree. And a video ensues. And this was last night's lesson. So, in the topic of time, and I'm going to talk about time, the context of doing things quickly, or the misconception of doing things quickly. And I've got some, you'll have to bear with me because I'm not actually prepared for these things. But paper, as always, is the unpronounceable paper. Unpronounceable to me, anyway. So I'll show you the cover. You can decide on how to pronounce it yourself. I get it from Great Art online. So not expensive. As you can see, it comes in spiral pads. This stuff, whatever that says. But it's the number one thing I get. There's a number two. I think it's just size related. I don't know, just a sketching. That's all. It's just sketching paper. Not expensive. That's the reason why I buy it, really. The speed thing. Somebody put on about the challenge of doing it within time, and I really don't like the time thing. I just think there's enough pressure, and this is the pressure that I'm going to talk about now. This is and the quote, the Robert Henri quote of work at great speed thing, and I interpret that as him meaning that at the moment that you connect with the subject, it's the sudden rush of interpretation, sudden rush of understanding. You know the thing about, and I talk about this all the time. When you first meet somebody, these get on LinkedIn, you'll see people talking about, you've got 4 seconds to make an impression, all that kind of thing. But it's true. It's you make impressions. You've got to do it. It's a human thing. You've got to assess someone's threat level instantly, and that's kind of the tool that we're going to use. So it's that ability to assess a face or a person within seconds is what you need to manifest. And that's nothing to do with working quickly. It's to do with capturing that briefest of moments that you actually connect. It's the time, it's like in technical terms, we used to call it handshakes when one system would connect to another system. It's that, and that's why it's important, because if you don't make that handshake connection, then you're not going to make a great portrait. You're going to end up with a portrait that's just, what you'll do is you'll fight with the production, and that will be your definition of your portrait. Whereas if you I'm not going to draw just yet because I'm going to do it as quickly as I can. But if you hit the thing immediately and catch the essence, the vibe of the face instantly, then you can do as much finish, and this was I think it was 59 minutes, but you can do as much finish as you like on it. You can spend weeks on it if you want. But if you haven't got that, the trouble is you will lose the essence if you're not careful. So there's a fine balance between that. So I would rather have that where the essence is caught within a few strokes than have something that's overworked, if you like, and lose that. If I lose that, then everything's gone. So I'm going to try and do this now and connect with this as quickly as I can. Because I want to show what all it takes to capture the essence of a face. I suppose the difficulty for me is that I speak or draw in shorthand. So I will draw only just enough for me to decide on whether or not I've caught what I need to catch, and take it from there. So I won't do anything other than what you see now. really, and know that that is the essence that I need to build on. But for me, that's it. I don't really need to do much more. So however long that took, that was me capturing or connecting and capturing the essence of the face. So it does happen in seconds. I think, I mean, I'm not fully connected, so I can't say that it is absolute. The only way I know if I'm fully connected is I'm kind of out of breath with excitement. So it's an adrenaline rush thing. But the essence has to be here at the beginning. I think it's also to do with a kind of I don't know if it's bravery, but let's call it a brave thing. You know, sort of people might call it confidence, for instance. It's also to do with that. I think it's the other quote that I quite like about Robert Henri, which is no great art that inspires is produced by a quibbling man, which means that, you know, be assertive, be determined, be confident, you know. But I think confidence is a bad word to use because it implies that it's some kind of acquired skill. I'm confident because I can do this. I'm confident because I have control over this. I'm confident because the paper will do it. Whatever. There are too many other facts. Confidence is not necessarily the right thing, but as I said, it's kind of like that. Being brave is probably the term I'd like to use. You have to be brave in your mark making. Fearless is what people often say about the way I make marks. I think that's probably the truth. Is the truest statement, that it is. I'm fearless, and I'm only fearless because I don't care. And I know I've said this before on some of these things. I really don't care. It'll work or it won't. I don't have that desire to, produce works of art every time that I, drag the charcoal. So I'm, as I said, it's for me, it's seconds. Somebody just watched 2 minutes was the challenge, but for me, the thing is that the part of the sort of fundamentals of this is that not every mark matters. This is the thing. People will scribble and then they'll find the face within the scribble. Charcoal artists will do that and they'll sort of dig out a face. But that's not this. That isn't this. This is a different thing. This is all about flowing, I suppose. And it's all about flowing into the drawing. It's all about your emotions flowing into the drawing. So inevitably, you're going to get a kind of a flow in the way that you make marks. So it's going to flow. It's going to flow. And it's still back down to this touching and getting hold of the face kind of thing. The tactile approach to it is still about that. So if that then manifests within the gestures that I make, with the marks that I make, then that's fine. That's what you see. But it's not let's scribble around and then find a face in it. There's too much style and technique involved in that for me. I think that style and technique is what happens further down the line. You can style and technique, but you can't style and technique the essence into a face. It will always be style and technique. You can't put back what you didn't capture to start when you began the game. The game has to, first of all, have the proper rules, the proper direction established before you can move on to it. And that's it really. It's all about those first initial marks. You should be connecting. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't look right. This is another part of it, which is if you want to turn into a practical kind of artist approach, it doesn't matter that you've got marks that aren't quite right. the positions aren't quite right. The nose isn't quite right. The eyes want to lift up a little bit, and then and I'm telling you all these things because this is what happens. Because the as I caught the essence, and it was all just a spontaneous thing. Things aren't necessarily about accuracy. And what happens with the inaccurate elements of it is that they will inevitably tell you where, you'll see what's wrong, and you'll inevitably find what's right. And that's the thing. So it doesn't matter if it's wrong. So all of these things, it doesn't, it's going to be whatever it's going to be. It doesn't matter if it's wrong, all that sort of thing. And talking about fearlessness and the carefree attitude. All these things are the proper foundation of doing whatever. You may choose to leave it. If you hit the thing straight away, you may choose to leave it. And you've seen the ones where, I hit that fairly early on, and I choose to leave it like that because that's got everything I like about that particular phase. This is not about drawing. This is the thing. This thing about 2-minute challenges and 6-minute challenges and 30-minute challenges and all that sort of thing. I have no idea why they think that that's relevant, because it's not. Because a challenge to me might be 2 minutes, but a challenge to somebody else might be 2 hours. So I don't get why there is this idea that being able to draw quickly is in some way beneficial. Because I understand from my point of view, I understand about the flow of the mark, and it's in that moment, and I'm excited and all the rest of it. But my excitement level might be, or stimulation, my adrenaline level might be completely off the scale to someone else. Somebody might find spending an hour exhilarating. I find it a little bit tedious, but somebody might find that exhilarating. For me, it's within minutes, within seconds. So I don't understand the draw it in 6 minutes, draw it in 30 minutes, 10-minute poses and all that. I don't get all that. I just think that's just about technique and skill and the things that really aren't art. They're just the functions of art. So, but as I said, it's all about those first few, for me, those first few seconds. And if you can connect to the essence in those first few seconds, then chances are you make a great portrait, regardless of your skill level and regardless of the time you spend to finish it. You will make a great portrait. And that's it. This is a short and sweet one, but that's the whole point, really. So I'll catch you in the next one.